Hi guys, this is my video for a friend that's been requested. I'm not going to mention her name because I don't want to embarrass her, but I'm sure there's many people out there who is watching this video that have had exact same situations, so hopefully I'm going to help you as well. These are my top 5 things to cope with a broken heart, or cope with breaking up with somebody. Whether it's 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 decades, breaking up with someone sucks. It really sucks. You're going to feel like crap for a really long time unless you try and pick yourself up and move on with your life. At the end of the day, that person who's left you has dropped you and walked off, and they're getting on with their lives, so there's no point in sitting and feeling sorry for yourself because that person really doesn't care about you. So don't spend a second trying to think about them because nothing is really going to change much. So I've made some bullet points in my little journaly book here, so hopefully this will help you a little bit. So do not try and spend time in plotting any kind of revenge or get back at that other person. Don't try making them jealous, because if they make that other person jealous, the likelihood is he's going to see you at probably your ugliest and most horrible time, and this isn't going to entice him back. It really isn't, or her back. So there's no point spending time and energy and negativity on trying to plot revenge, because it's not going to work. My second one is try and content yourself. Now this is an opportunity to try and content yourself and do stuff that you always wanted to do. Any projects, any parties, anything, charity events, work projects, exercise regimes, food, films, anything you've ever wanted to do but you haven't been able to because the other person doesn't like it, or whatever reason you haven't been able to do it because you've been with that person, this is the time to do it. Get on and do it. My friend really wants to join the police force, and I've been trying my best to encourage her to do it. I think this is an opportunity for her to really strive towards doing that, because I know it will really make her happy. So, use your friends for encouragement to go and do things if you think that, you haven't got the get up and go, or maybe take a friend along with you to do something, an exercise regime, go playing badminton or tennis or scuba diving or whatever, go on a holiday, take a friend with you. That's really going to perk you up, and suddenly you've got more time for your friends because you haven't been spending it with that other person. And you both might find something really cool about yourselves, that you've got all that time, and you're doing things that you haven't had time to do before. I've made a little side note here: eating biscuits in bed that drive other people up the wall, but they're not there now, so you can do it. Do not move on too quickly. That was my other one. Don't move on too quickly, because that other person, he's left you, or her, she's left you. Don't go looking for someone else to try and replace it too quickly, because A, it's not fair on yourself, and B, it's not fair on that other person, because if you move on too quickly, you're going to try and look for qualities that aren't there in that other person, and it's only going to hurt them, and it's going to frustrate you because that's not the other person. So just causing yet another heartache. So there's no point in doing that. So yeah, no rebounds. Try not to talk negatively about that other person, because after all, we live in a very small world, and we never know what gets back to that other person. If you ever get an opportunity to be friends with that ex, then you don't want to be a couple of weeks down the line thinking everything's okay, and somebody come up and go, well, I heard you said this, and that person's done that. So that's not a nice situation to be in. So the best thing is, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. Again, as I said before, if you come to a point where you can have an amicable relationship, say if that ex is in a circle of friends that you've been hanging out with, or vice versa, you don't want to be having awkward feelings, because then it makes it awkward with your friends, and you end up secluding yourself because you don't want to go out with that group of friends. So try and be amicable and try and be friends if that can be at all possible. And try and look for your happy memories. I mean, you've been with that person maybe a long time, maybe a short time, but either way you're going to have some fun, happy memories with that person, and try not to dwell too long on the negative, and try and remember the happy times that you've had. That's a much better way of looking at it, because if you dwell on the negative too long and too harshly, then every time you see that person you're going to have bitter feelings, and the only person that's going to hurt is yourself. It's going to eat you up inside. I mean, I could say from personal experience, my ex, I have to see him twice a week, and for a long time I was harbouring horrible, nasty thoughts about him and negative feelings, and it got to a point where, you know, I was trying to look for excuses not to go and not to be in that situation where I had to see him. And then I realised that whatever I was doing, whatever feelings I was having when secluding myself, I was only hurting me, because he didn't give a hoot, you know, he didn't care, he's got someone else now, you know, and he was still coming up to me with his big bouncy smile, and I just thought, well, you know, if he can be happy, why can't I? I should be happy. So yeah, I've got over it. It's taken a while, I have to say. It's not something that's going to magically happen overnight, that you're suddenly going to be like best buddies again. You're not. But getting to a point where, you know, you can turn around and talk to that person, make a comment about that person, and have a laugh about it, then, you know, you're at a good place. You're at a really good place, and, you know, well done to you if you got there. I mean, it's only been very, very recently that I've got to this point with that person. If you have been in another situation where I've been, whereas that person has dumped you and walked out of your life and never ever seen or heard from them again, it kind of makes it a little easier that you don't have to see that person, although he will pop up in your thoughts nearly every day, and it is going to annoy the rat bag out of you, but, you know, you haven't got that person to deal with every single day. Then it does kind of make it easier. But again, don't go trying to look for ways to go look for him, because he ain't going to be there, and he's not going to want to see you. He's just going to want to move on, or she's going to want to move on with their life, with his life, and it's a waste of time, waste of money, a waste of energy. So don't go looking for it. My favourite motto is, if you can't take me at my worst, then you sure don't deserve me at my best. If that person was Mrs. or Mr. Right, they would have stuck around, and clearly that person isn't. So don't spend any time worrying about them, trying to get them back, trying to make them jealous, moving on too quickly, because it just won't work. Use your friends, use your family, get hobbies, get a book, do anything to distract yourself from sitting in a dark pit, because it just doesn't help. Leave any comments down below what you think of this video, and yeah, take care guys, bye.